we are really focusing in our day-to-day work with the partners on agribusiness skills training. So we have a long track record of training people on the ground in presence. I've been doing that for a couple of years, different formats, different business schools that we have been advising partners on. And for about 3 years now, we have been trying to complement that offer with digital learning. The background is that we have limited reach with the face-to-face trainings that we're implementing in the field. And we are trying to speak to a new generation of agripreneurs, especially youth, especially young professionals coming out of the university space that are looking for new attractive learning formats.
What is an agribusiness skill?
Well, that's the ability to commercialize, to professionalize your own business. You see a lot of still early stage subsistence focused businesses are struggling to grow, to find the right partners, to find the right techniques when it comes, for example, to climate smart technologies, adapting to challenges on the ground. So on that platform, they find a whole array of agronomic, entrepreneurial tools, and they can see what is relevant for them. There's some things that are really value chain specific. There's other things which are really on the entrepreneurial skill set. And we hope with this tool, we speak to new people and we can really keep the agribusiness sector also appealing and attractive to exactly those people that are currently difficult to convince to start their agribusinesses in a challenging sector.
So how do you, is that built in there, this sort of personal / entrepreneurial sort of thing?
It is. It's a lot about seeking opportunities. So one of our courses is called Agriculture as a Business. So that you have a lot of technical tools in there on how you can manage your cash flow to decide whether, your business is ready for a credit and if that's the way for you to go as a business. But there's a lot when it comes down to mentality and understanding the opportunity that the agribusiness sector is offering, because there's a strong narrative that, agriculture is not sexy, that it is not offering you a lot of opportunity. So we try to contextualize that a bit, and we try to also come with entrepreneurial principles that you can follow to find the opportunity. It's coming down to understanding risk and how you can manage the risk, for example, choosing your farm enterprise in the right way. And I think just having a positive mindset about, growing what you do.
That's what I was just going to ask, because a lot of it seems to be more on that mindset kind of thing, which is a much more basic sort of structural thing, how you approach the day and the week and your business.
Yeah.
And that would bear the question for me, how do you go from training more towards coaching, essentially, eh? Because for mindset change, you probably need more of a typical coaching approach, which is, I know it's used quite interchangeably, training and coaching, but if you take it seriously, it's a different thing.
I fully agree. There's only so much you can do either with a face-to-face or an online training. I would say an online training, self-tutored, that is maybe lasting an hour or two. It has its limited, possibilities. It's a starting point. So what we're now trying to do is to link both the face-to-face training and the online training up with mentoring and coaching possibilities. The issue there is that you need a very, deep effort that is costly, and that can only potentially benefit a smaller number of, interested participants. So here with the e-learning, we try to really go into quantitative reach. With the mentoring, you select the most promising candidates that have good ideas that need further, coaching and idea generation, and also linking them up to a supportive network. But then you automatically go into a smaller scale. But I think we still have to do it, and we have to, with those candidates that are really, promising and that really seek opportunity, we have to take the extra effort, and we try that now.
So what is basically sponsored in this system is the system itself and the kind of mind work that you put in. And you also sponsor a couple of those participants?
That is correct.
What is the idea? Or do you have also people that pay for service? Or is that sort of your exit strategy in a way? So
what we're trying to do, it's a new initiative from our side. We felt at the beginning, let's start with the learning offer. Let's grow that. Now the platform has grown to more than 50,000 enrolled participants. And now what we'll do in the coming months is we start a competition for viable business project ideas. So we're seeking for climate resilient business pitches that they can submit to us through the platform. And then we involve a couple of partners, mostly ATVET institutions who help us in the pre-selection. And then we bring it down to, as I said, a manageable number because you can only do so much. And we hope then that we will end up with around 200-300 viable business project ideas that we will bring into a mentoring process. And then out of these mentored projects, you will hopefully find some that qualify for funding from commercial partners, from microfinance institutions. And then with the others who are still early stage, we want to incentivize them by offering small grants. But here we're just talking about a few $1,000s, but that would be startup capital for them to get to a more mature stage at a later process level.
So what is your take on, we quite often speak about innovation, and in a way any business needs to find, doesn't have to be innovative necessarily. I mean, if there's no baker in town, you pay great, then you don't need to be innovative, but usually you need to find at least a niche or something. So what is your experience there? How much of these people that participate, to what degree are they innovative? And innovative in a way that is not just catch up into what in the Western world is already done.
Yeah, I mean, frankly speaking, we will have to wait and see how many, disruptively new ideas we get out of this idea competition that we will be launching. But I would say I would always go for a more pragmatic innovation understanding, whereas you have a lot of tools which we know in GIZ are working and that we've tried out in a certain context. And we just need to create awareness on those tools that have already worked. For me, it's not always about reinventing the wheel again and expecting something totally new. But I still believe that a lot of the innovation comes from bottom up. So if you invite people to be creative, you will always in such a competition learn something new. So I think this is still early stage. We have to wait and see what is coming out of such a diverse group of learners. And, these are very different types of businesses. Some are just, one-person households, and others are maybe more mature companies. So that is something we have to observe. So I cannot tell how that will play out.
One of the development cooperation things was always smallholder farmers, even EFAT, working with them. And then when you see a lot of this activity, that looks like a little bit like promoting industrialized agriculture. I mean, contradict me, but business growing,
I mean, I wouldn't say that, commercializing or professionalizing the agribusiness is a bad step. I mean, in our case, these are really like small scale and micro businesses. And I feel for them to become viable, they need to professionalize it, but they need tools at hand. They need the network to collaborate and grow. And that's essential for them because otherwise they will simply fail. So we've had a input later on here in the plenary where someone said out of all these agribusinesses that trying, or people that try to go into agriculture, only 25 are ending up having viable, businesses that are thriving. And I think it comes down to finding those and then offering something in return for those that are still struggling. But in our case, it's not the big industrial companies, but I think it's more like MSMEs that are then, driving employment in the local communities. So I think giving them a little bit of a push to grow and to become more sizable and to start to employ people in the local communities, that's how you can offer opportunities to youth, because not everyone will be, his or her own entrepreneur, but you need some, growing business that can accommodate others and then also generate opportunities for a broader range of people.
Going back one more time to the mindset issue or work ethic. I read some time ago some information about investor capitalism, venture capitalism. And these guys that do the big investments, they seem to be agreeing on that the business model is not what they decide on, even though people think they do. But they want to see that people that want the money, that they're fully in it, that they have the right mindset. That's for them the most critical point to make a decision whether they give somebody money.
Yeah.
It's not so much as everybody thinks the model, the idea that they come up with. So I would be interested, because we talked about mindset already, I would be interested in how far are you looking at the personalities when you're choosing who to promote more?
I think that comes in the second step for us. I think we have to, with looking at this large, number of potential candidates that we're dealing with on an e-learning platform and their business pitches. I think we have to pre-select, and that comes with, in our case, the business model canvas. So that is a framework where they present in basic terms their business idea. And I think looking at that canvas and how they prepare different dimensions of it, looking at the market opportunities, the investment pieces that they will look at, the customer segments that they identify, you can already sense if that is well thought through and if they have in that thinking an entrepreneurial mindset. And then I think in the second stage, when they go into the mentoring stage with us, that's when you can really get to know them on a more, individual level. I think that needs to happen also in a face-to-face setting. And then you can see where they have gaps and where you need to help them to develop their businesses a bit further and how they also approach their business and how they present it to others. But that really requires qualitative one-to-one work with a coach in a mentoring approach.
So in a nutshell, to finish it off.
Yeah.
Vision for the future. What's the advice where things should be moving, and where do you see it in 10 years?
I think I want to bring it to the point to how we in GIZ promote agribusiness skills. And we've quite successfully been doing a lot of in-presence training in the past. And I think looking at the opportunity with Atingi being now the central e-learning platform of the German Development Corporation, scaling that up, complementing face-to-face training with digital opportunities, and on the digital platform, using that also as an opportunity hub. It's not just a place for digital training, but it's more like a space where we can build communities in a platform approach, and we can identify promising, businesses that are looking for opportunity, and we can use it to matchmake them so that they can thrive and grow.